Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Houston, welcome to another episode of the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Man, I was about to say Dynamo Theory. It's been a bit since we've done that, but for whatever reason, that was in my head. But yeah, welcome to another episode of Bayou City Soccer. Super excited to sit down and talk to you guys. I got Christian. Putalias, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Another week. More points.
Another week, another dollar, maybe. Rodrigo, how you been, man?
All good over here. I hope you guys having a good week, a good day. Let's get it.
Let's get it, man. But yeah, usually we record Monday nights, but it was Labor Day. Honestly, we thought we were going to take a week off, but there are some things that pop up randomly in the Houston soccer world. One, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Sam Laity got let go. Something, Christian, you keep mentioning, when we talked about the dash, when do you put pressure on the coach? When do you fire the coach? That was answered this week, man. He was let go. At the end of the day, the results weren't there, but we talked about this enough, man. The roster building stuff is not there either. The GM has lacked of, I keep saying, and that's pissing me off a little bit, but we've seen the fact that Alex Singer, the GM for the Houston Dash, did not bring the players in my, I guess, train of thought that were required, knowing the people that you were going to lose for the World Cup, especially. We saw a lot of number sixes, number fives, however you want to call it, Christian, a lot of defensive midfielders being brought in. The defense is great. Rodrigo even touched about it the other day, how, they're the last or in first place of goals conceded, but it's been completely opposite, man, the other way around. But Christian, just get your thoughts on this Dash move and your expectations, I guess, coming up, man.
Well, cheap plug, first of all, we have the press conference of the general manager, Alex Singer, and the president of the Dash, which I'm blanking out on her name right now. But both of them spoke to the media. And
Jessica O'Neill, that's her name.
There you go, Jessica O'Neill. And they're both of them spoke to the media after the news broke out, and we have them both on the YouTube channel for Bayou City Soccer. So go check that out. We're one away from 300 subscribers, so be that person, subscribe, and we have it there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, we are not the experts on the Dash. We'll have the experts on it, Dustin, Manny, and then maybe a guest or somebody else come in and talk. But I mean, for what we saw from kind of on the outside, that we do follow the Dash, but not as in depth as they do in the squad here. We always talked about the coaching staff. We always talked about, when is it time to quit? When is it time to move on? When is it time to kind of, regroup and look at your roster? Does the GM have any fault in it? So I think there's a lot of questions to be asked. A lot of people on Twitter, they were blaming the coach. A lot of other people were talking about the roster building, that it was bad. Some people say that they have a really good roster, really good players. I mean, the quality, it seems to be there, but it seems like, I guess, to put it into action, it's a whole different thing, from del hecho al hecho hay un estrecho, as they say in Spanish. Like, there's a big gap between the idea and actually putting it to work.
Yeah, just to add to that, there was a lot of noise when they brought in Diana Ordonez, big move, big transfer, or big trade within the league. And I think she won like Rookie of the Year. If not, she was pretty dang close just because of how many goals she scored on her first season or last season. And then she just has 2 goals, this season with the Dash.
Crazy.
Granted, they haven't really scored many. And your top scorer is Maria Sanchez with 4. And I believe a couple of them have been out of penalties. So it just hasn't been the scoring machine that they expected by bringing those names. And obviously we know that even Ebony Salmon, who, kind of had a nice streak last year, she hasn't been there either, Rodrigo. So, man, Rodrigo, just your finishing thoughts on what we've seen so far and Obviously, there's about 4 games left for the Dash. The chances are there to make the playoffs in theory, but I don't know, man. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I mean, I don't think it's a playoff push when you fire your coach.
Right.
I feel like you're kind of done with the season. You just want to kind of regroup. Maybe there's, internal issues with the coaching staff and players, and you're just trying to keep, more of the players happy if you know you're not going to renew Sam's contract, or if you plan to let him go, might as well cut him off now. Honestly, like you said, good defensive. They've been good defensively. Offensively, they can't produce much, even though, quote unquote, they have good players that should be able to produce that. Overall, I feel like this Dash season is just kind of done for. I mean, if they make the playoffs, great, but maybe they find some inner motivation after he's gone, and somehow they just go on this wild streak and make the playoffs and actually compete for the championship.
Yeah, and I think one I guess something that Dustin had mentioned, in our chat about, reasons maybe why he got let go. It just seemed he didn't fit. You didn't really see a lot of the players like rally and talk about the coach or be excited, talking about coach. And sadly, whenever the news broke, they mentioned, "Oh, it's this because he was mistreating the players." And the good thing is, general manager Alex Singer was definitely made a point of saying, "This is not that." Like that wasn't the case. Don't take it out of context, because obviously now we know how that's become a thing in NWSL and just in women's soccer period. So it was just maybe not a right fit. Maybe he would just didn't click with the team, and the team didn't really play for him. So we could probably see him go elsewhere and do really good too. So I think at the end of the day, you kind of hope the best for Sam Laity. We got to talk to him a bunch in presser, so obviously getting to know him, and why not. So to an extent, you just want the best for the team. But I again, a lot of it has to do with just the inexperience that all the people right now have around the team. Obviously, Sam, this was his first coaching job as a head coach for a team after being, I think, an assistant for like 10 years. And then same thing with Singer. Singer, this is her first GM job. So there's going to be a lot of errors made, a lot of mistakes, a lot of, growing pains, but hopefully they get it right on the next one, man. And I mentioned the fact that they have 4 games left. They are playing Racing Louisville, not this Friday, so not tomorrow, next Friday. And then after that, it's going to be a difficult uphill battle, but in theory, it can be done. Like you said, Rodrigo, they could get the rally going and be like, hey, this is what we're missing, or it can be more of the same. But unless anybody wants to add anything else, we can move to Dynamo 2, guys.
Yeah. 18 games, only 12 goals scored. Their XG is 0.7 per game. So it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And like I said, they have the least goals scored with 15. So it's pretty crazy just how unbalanced it is, But yeah, Houston Dynamo, those, man, I feel like every time we spend some time talking about them on the round table, they go completely just start plummeting so bad down the standings. And that's been the case so far, man. They just haven't been the Dynamo 2 that we know. They're hurting. They also have 3 games left. So they play, actually, they're the only team for Houston to play this weekend. They'll be playing in Portland Sunday night at 9:00 Central. And they need the points badly. They've lost, if I'm not mistaken, I think they haven't won in like 4 games, and the last 3 they've lost, 2 of them being at home. So Sunday, actually, this Sunday when they played against St. Louis, I was able to be there at the game. Didn't cover it, just took my family, and most of the time I was just running around behind my kids, man. They're still going a little nuts, a little crazy. But at the end of the day, from what I got to see, which was still a good chunk of it, I would say, letting the kids do whatever the hell they wanted. But they just don't look the same, man. I don't know what the drive is, Christian. I don't know if maybe they lack that motivation. I feel like some of the younger guys, like what's his name, Sebastian, is it Rodriguez?
Yeah.
He plays pretty well. I mean, he's a young guy. He's been given opportunity. But other players like maybe Brooklyn Rain, sorry. I feel like he's dipped a little bit. And I don't know if it was because in the beginning of the year, he was with the first team a lot, getting minutes. It looked like he was poised to get a ton of minutes this season. And that wasn't the case. And you see him kind of come down in level, playing with two as well. And, I don't know, man. I don't know. You're the one that writes most of the articles for them. What are your thoughts on right now, what they look like? And I guess that question is too, will they make the playoffs, man?
That's a good question. Honestly, I don't think they are in any danger of missing the playoffs. Honestly, I think they will. There's only 3 games left, right? So this is basically the last push for staying in the playoff run. What I mean, it's one of those questions that you're like, is it the results that matter? Is it the way that the kids are developing, or the young guys are developing? A lot of the goals that actually they've been scored on, or I guess scored on them, have been counterattacks or one-on-ones, or a lot of like simple, personal mistakes, right? Like just one player either misses the ball, passes the ball incorrectly, and it just leads to like a counterattack. So, I mean, just to throw a number out there, maybe like 80% of the goals that they received in the last 3 games were all pretty much counters that they just were defended terribly. And it could be part of, maybe the way that they play. They play so high. They move up so high up the field. They press so high that maybe in a counter, it's difficult to come back and have those numbers. And, because let's be honest, all the other teams, they're also pretty lethal. I mean, it's not you're competing against other guys that will also want to be pro in the future, right? So it's the like you said, I don't know if it's the hunger. You don't know if it's the drive or what may be, right? Personally, I don't like when first team guys go in and just kind of take spots, just because they're first team guys and they have to get minutes. Obviously, I think that kind of disturbs the cohesion for a bit.
Yeah, and well, to your point, the last 2 games they've been at home, the only one that's really come in was Teenage Davy, out of the start.
But it's a big change, though. It's a big change.
It is a big change. You're right, but I mean, he's one of those guys. I mean, when you look at the goals they've got scored on, a lot of them weren't his, fault, or he wasn't there for that necessarily that goal. Even when we saw that 4-0 loss against LA Galaxy 2, they hadn't gotten scored till he left. Basically, like all the other goals kind of came in bundles in the second half. But it's just, yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, what's up?
And also on the other side of the ball, on the offensive side, they create, but I don't think they scored it as much as they would want to score. And it's one of those things that also I haven't seen Seek Soto for a little while, if I'm not mistaken, right? I wasn't able to watch live the last 2 games, so I kind of watched them like here and there. But the number 9 position, it's a position that I guess the whole organization is struggling with. I mean, the Dynamo those and the Dash, just the lack of goals. Well, I guess not the Dynamo so much right lately, but at one point, like that's what we were lacking. That's something that we were looking to produce, and the opportunities are there. It's just that they can't just put it in the back of the net.
And maybe scoring a bunch of hat tricks by Papa. He kind of ran out of goals too, man. Yeah, that happened. But Rodrigo, just your thoughts on Dynamo 2, man, how you're seeing it. I don't know if you're seeing the same thing. And again, 3 games left. You think they make the playoffs? At the end of the day, one thing before you jump in, Christian did say it doesn't really matter. You're trying to develop players, but you're also trying to develop a winning mentality, which is something that they've said forever. So you need to make those playoffs, in my opinion.
For sure, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, not just a winning mentality, but just competitive in itself. You have to be competitive with your teammates and competitive against the other teams. But yeah, I guess bringing it back, and I'm sure just thinking about the whole like teenage and all that, how much does that would affect the team? How much does that affect the chemistry? You're trying to get them back on the field, but at the same time, like you said, even if the goals aren't his fault, I feel like you need like a team captain out there. He should be the guy. you shouldn't be giving up, goals. You should be winning games. You should be more decisive in the back line. Whether the goals are his fault or not, goalkeeper, whoever it is. I feel like when a player like that comes in, you need to bring a higher level, make your teammates better. You need to make sure everybody's, doing 110% when you're out there. And even if you come off come out of the game, that mentality needs to stay there. So it's kind of, weird that I guess they went on this bad streak for a couple games now. Not sure what that really means for them as far as trying to improve, or if it's a positive thing for Bundy, just to like, hey, trying to give more, minutes and stuff for other guys to develop more. I'm not sure your guys' thoughts on that.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I think Sik Soto too, like for instance, was a guy that was brought in to develop more, and obviously had broken into the U.S. national team and the U17, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so players like that you're seeing them get into call-ups so early. It's good because they're giving this opportunity, but like Christian said, he just kind of disappeared. We really haven't seen much of him, and it's not like he's not there. He is there. He just hasn't, and when he's there, he doesn't really bring any kind of dangerous or score goals, which is kind of what you need your number 9 to do. So we've talked about the fact of other players like Papa. He's an older player in this development league. Is that somebody that you want to have there? Because I mean, we have to be honest, it's going to be difficult for him to make the first team to begin with, right? And it's just how it is. It's just the way that we see the game, just not in Houston, but in general. A guy in 24, 25, 26 years old, I usually already have like 100 caps in La Liga or, EPL or whatever it is. So makes it a little bit harder as you're trying to develop guys. I think the story here, apart from Sebastian Rodriguez is getting a ton of minutes, or even Diego Gonzalez, who has lately not scored many goals, when I think he was a top scorer at one point before Papa kind of went crazy. It's also the fact that, and I had kind of asked Kenny Bundy that question, I think a week or two ago, just the fact that the story behind it, and it's not really mentioned, is yes, there's a lot of players that come in from the first team, but there's a lot of players in general that they lose because a lot of these guys go to college. Like Diego Rosas, he's gone. Cordova, he's gone. Reese Miller, he left last year, and he was the right back for a while. So it's just some of those guys that were being used to develop, they're leaving to maybe they see it, and again, to each their own. And if they don't see a path of becoming a professional anytime soon, why not take that full ride scholarship somewhere? So that's the difficult part. And I think that's a little bit on that. There has to be a balance between that development, and just because there's not, and this, Rodrigo, you follow Liverpool, or even you, Christian, with Boca, like those are clubs. They have like an academy build that's always feeding the first team, and you have to get people out there. You have to give them a couple minutes. If they work out, great. If they don't work out, it's okay, because you can usually move them elsewhere. Make a little bit of money, make a little bit of profit out of it. And the Houston's not there, and obviously the players are always going to take the path of a free, bachelors, if you can get it, man. I don't know.
You know what I was just thinking when you were talking about moving people. You know what? It would be interesting if the MLS Next Pro would be able to loan out players to like USL. I think that would be interesting to see, because you throw them in like a professional environment, and then you can just like bring them back. But obviously, it's a different league. It's a different, business wise, it's a whole different deal that I don't think we know much of, to kind of be talking about. But
you're not that far off, because that's what we saw Danny Rios. He went to granted, in his case, he has a contract with the first team, so there's probably some kind of loophole around it. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you just kind of want to see the people maybe there to get some of that. What do they call it? Como roce, like competition against older,
Yeah.
more
Kind of
developed
like
players.
Palomino did.
Yeah.
He went to was it Charlotte or Charleston?
Yeah.
For a year. No, when Palomino left, he went for a year and then he came back.
Charlotte, where is it? Charlotte Independence.
Charlotte, yes, one of the Battery or whoever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But the point is that if they can do that, that would be great because then you also give them. I mean, MLS Next Pro is good, right? But you see that maybe results are secondary to a lot of teams. Right. It's mostly building up players, trying to move them up. I mean, look at
bring
Portland,
them into
Seattle,
from
right?
Injuries like we've seen with Teenage or Brad Smith. Yeah, get some minutes.
And that sucks because like if you have like players like LaFleur that are trying to like move up in the rankings, trying to fight for a first team contract, and then Chase Smith or the other guy that they're not having minutes in the first team because they're not good enough to compete for that position, and now they need minutes, so now they're going to put them and bump LaFleur, because they need minutes. It kind of sucks because the kid is busting his ass. He's having a great season on that left side, and and then you just kind of have to like, well, I guess I'll sit this one out because they need minutes, gas.
Yeah, and it's like a double-edged sword because we've seen the good that is done for like maybe like Andrew Tarbell, like getting some minutes and then being like the guy for the cup, and then obviously we saw him play for the Dynamo against LA Galaxy. So I think some of those are good.
For sure. Yeah,
but there is some that I agree. I LaFleur would be great. What are you laughing about, Rodrigo?
Oh,
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think we want to know. But
I'm curious now, son of a gun.
God, this guy's gonna get us canceled. I can feel it. You're gonna stay quiet? All right.
Is it English, Spanish, pendejadas, trilinguals?
Always.
Yeah.
But all right. Yeah, so talking about the Galaxy game, obviously that's a game that we yeah, so talking about the Galaxy game, the game ended 0-0. Tarbell was the hero, probably the man of the match. He got a pretty good saves. Rodrigo, what you thought? Your thoughts on the match, man? 0-0 in LA. A lot of people were like, "My God, why did we lose this game?" I think it was either way. Like you could either lose or, sorry, like why didn't we win this game? Sorry, but I think it could have gone either way, man. What are your thoughts on that game?
I mean, understandable. It's a weaker Galaxy team that we've faced, from past games, past years. They really don't have the biggest talent right now with Chicharito out for the season. Cáceres, who they just got as well, out for the season. Just a couple players that are trying to, I guess, put the pieces back together and try to see if they can make a team. I get it. It's a game that we should have won. But apart from that, it's also away. Dynamo has been bad on away games. That's just our standard from the last couple of years. But overall, I see a team that has really improved over the last 2 months or so. They've picked everything up from defensively, offensively. The biggest issue to me, and I'm sure everybody, was gonna be Aliou with all his misses, literally in front of goal, and all you had to do was tip it in. It was really one of those what was it called? Viven en un country.
I was gonna say that's like sort of Happy Gilmore, when whenever he's like, "You're in your home, go to your home,
go to your home."
Just
it's tough watching him because he looks like a player that has a lot of potential, but at the same time, it's things like very basic
He puts the hard
You know,
ones in. That's the thing, you know?
yeah, it's just
Whoa.
he.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean, you
know.
saw that goal he scored against RSL, you know, like this dude takes like a 50-yard sprint and somehow with a defender like breathing down his neck and scores that,
Oh yeah, yeah,
goal.
yeah, exactly. When
But the
Herrera
one's
gave
right
them
in
through ball, that
front,
was just
2 inches away from the freaking goal, man.
yeah, that through ball that Herrera gave him when the goalkeeper coming out, it was just like just shoot it from afar. But instead, he decided to make it like super complicated. That is like, dude,
Super
what the?
complicated.
But yeah, it's just his decision making. It's not there. I feel like his tactical ability or technical ability, sometimes it's not there. But there's little spurts and bursts and sparks of like talent that I'm like, hey, this guy could turn into a really good player for us. But it's hard. I mean, it's kind of hard to keep defending him, especially when he gives those up. And yes, we didn't lose the game. It's tied. It's still a point for us. And Dynamo keeps on succeeding. I mean, our defense is solid with Tarbell, Clark, whoever it's in the back right now. They've kept 5 clean sheets in the last league, 5 league games. Uh, Clark is leading the clean sheets in the league with, I think, what's his name?
Dude, that's a
Ray.
big deal. I think I remember in the preseason you mentioned that you need to have a ton of clean sheets, you know, if you want to make it into the playoffs. And that's something that we've seen. And I guess to give a little love to Manny Olivares that has like 1,000
When
teams out there. He did also mention that, you know, you need Ache to get double digits assists to be, you know, a competitive team in the MLS. And that's kind of what's happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there. He's what, at 9
He has like 12 or 13, I thought.
for the league?
Okay. Yeah, 9 is what FootMob says.
Yeah,
You're right. So I
9.
guess total he has
Yeah,
like
total for the
13.
season, I think he has more.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, that's another one that I mean, we can touch on right now. I mean, Herrera, he's one of the guys currently number 5 in the power rankings for MVP, which that's massive. I mean, we've seen the difference this guy's been. I think when he arrived, you and me, Rodrigo, are going to be obviously biased being Mexican, but we knew that this guy had what it take to, you know, bring this team or, you know, do a 180 on this team. And slowly but surely, even Christian is falling in love with this Riquelme wannabe guy.
Oh, I love Achetu, bro.
Yeah, that's so it's just great to see it kind of work together. And we mentioned the fact that, you know, if he was healthy, I think he was always going to be a factor. And that's kind of what we're seeing. And out of nowhere, obviously, it seemed that his time with Mexico was over and he got a call up. So I think that should boost his, you know, morale, boost his confidence that, hey, they're still looking at me and they're bringing me in. I don't know, Rodrigo, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel like it's not just that they're looking at him. I feel like they need somebody that's a leader on the field. He's been that. He's that for the Dynamo. I mean, I feel like if that signing didn't happen, and obviously now everything else that's gone forward with all the other signings, bringing Ben on board, I feel like Dynamo would still be dead last, still trying to find their identity, how people say, try to find what's going to work for this team. I'm sure you would have had a pissed off owner by now and be like, should I sell the team? Like, why am I investing all this money on it if we can't get past, you know, dead last, second to last place and season after season? I feel now, you know, bringing Herrera in by Pad with the help of Ted and everything that they had to do, and obviously Herrera paying off that, I guess, price tag per se. Ted is probably feeling a lot more comfortable and confident of like, hey, this team actually might do well and we might succeed. I mean, you're getting, and not just Herrera, but as a team, you're getting them into the U.S. Open Cup final, obviously against Messi, which is going to be a tough game, but at least you're making it into a final, and then you're sitting, I wouldn't say comfortably, but in a good place for this playoff run or push. So
Yeah, Christian, anything you want to add? As I burped. No, all right, you're good.
As I burped. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think he's doing well. Hector Herrera, obviously, we know Coco also got called up during this window or FIFA window. And then Xavier Valdez at 19, getting looks from the Dominican Republic. That's always a good thing. Funny enough, I looked up who the goalkeeper was, and he's like their goalkeeper. His name is Miguel Lloyd. The dude is 40 years old, bro. He's 40 years old.
Jeez.
And he's the most cap player for them, which I think he has like maybe 48 caps or something like that. So it's not a lot. Just because they don't play in a lot of competitions. But it's great. I think seeing a guy like Xavier, and I think out of all the young guys we've seen, and whether it be Palomino, Castilla, Donnie Rios, and even Brooklyn Reigns, I think Xavier has like a right head up on his shoulders. So I think if he continues, he's super young. I think you really don't see the goalkeepers at his age break through, and obviously they can last. I just mentioned a 40-year-old. I mean, we know how far and how old the goalkeeper can be and play at high level. So yeah, so he has a ton of time, and hopefully he continues to grow, and eventually he can break into the first team, and take over after maybe Steve Clark or whoever's there. But yeah, guys, I mean, we'll have plenty of time to talk next week on the match that they'll be playing, which I believe is St. Louis City on Saturday, September 16. Oh, man, I'm good. Yeah, 16. That's exactly right. But yeah, power rankings. Man, we pretty much hit everything pretty quickly, guys. So I had a couple star one, bench one, cut one questions written up. I had some old school Dynamo related, some new ones, and stuff like that. So I was gonna give you one that I thought was maybe easy, but it may be a little bit difficult. But y'all feel free to Google it. So it would be easy to say, like, pick, which one do you start, bench, or cut out of like the Dynamo, like 06, 07 type of stuff. But Christian and Rodrigo, y'all can both answer this. Wow, my phone is typing everything I'm saying. This is kind of crazy. What is it doing that?
That voice.
I don't know what I clicked, but it's still typing. This is freaking me out a little bit. But
they're listening to you, bro.
They are listening. Dude, that is crazy. I'm gonna have to send you a screenshot. So 2011.
We're sorry, guys. Whoever's listening,
2012
technology.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's never done that when I have it open, and it's still going.
You hit the mic. You literally hit the mic option. The text to type.
There it is. I took it off.
It's magic.
It is magic. I got everything wrong though. All right, so let's start with this one. This one's a little bit hard, but it'll get more fun from this one. But 2011 Houston Dynamo, they ended up going to the final, losing to LA. Good team. Y'all can Google it, see what you guys like out about that. Then 2012, same thing, back to back to the final, lost again against LA Galaxy, I believe, as well. Yep, that's right. And then 2018 Houston Dynamo, obviously no playoffs for them, but they won the US Open Cup. So out of those three, who are you starting? Who are you benching? Which team are you cutting? Whoever wants to go first. Rodrigo, you look like you may want to go first. No, nobody wants to go first. Christian, you want to go first?
Wait, you said 2011, 2012, and 2018.
Yes. So because it'd be too easy to put like the ones that won an actual MLS Cup up there.
Yeah.
So I feel like those.
Are you saying the actual team or players from them?
No, like just the play, like the whole team, like as a season, like just what they won, or which one would you start, bench, and cut. That one's a little bit difficult, but I have some better ones. I just thought that one would be an interesting one just because of, again, I mean, the 2011 and 2012, they're very similar teams. I think they had, I would say, 90% of the same team, same players. And then obviously we know what 2018 had. Winning the US Open Cup, so at least you got a trophy.
Yeah, that was a good team. I mean,
You had
now that
Memo
I was looking at
Rodriguez,
it,
you had
I mean,
Coverdellis,
that boy's
Manotas.
let's go.
that boy started with Memo Rodriguez.
Legend, homegrown legend. Was it homegrown?
Jesus Christ.
Didn't he say that he hated when they called him that? I mean, the guy was like 25, 26. Like, I'm kind of tired of getting called a homegrown.
Right.
I don't know, man. This 2012, 2011. Those goalkeepers will get you canceled now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Or that goalkeeper, I should say.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Was it
Actually,
Tyler
he was
Derrick or was it Hall? I think Tally was still there too.
Actually,
I
yeah,
think-
he's
I think the
still
main
there.
goalkeeper was Tally. No?
I don't think which one was
It seems
which.
about right.
I mean, the coach, sorry, Dominic Kinnear could get you.
I don't know. He was in
Eddie
all three
Robinson,
teams,
Benjamin
man.
Taylor, Kofi
Who's Tyler
yeah.
Derrick?
There you go. Yeah,
Tyler
you're
Derrick
right.
was
You're
in
right.
all three teams.
That's a good team.
Yeah, because Tally
2011
Hall
is a
was
good
still a
team.
starter, but yeah, you're right. Tyler Derrick was there. In 11, you have Eddie Robinson was still there. Yeah, Jeff Cameron was there. You had Danny Crude. You had Brad Davis. I mean, man, Brad Davis. You had Brian Ching in 11. You had Carlo Cosli. Yeah. Honduran legend, man. Yeah, so and again, 2011, what they ended up being runner-ups. They didn't qualify for the US Open Cup. That's weird. And
Yeah, I got an answer.
okay.
They cut 2012,
Okay.
bench 2018, and play with 2011.
Okay. I like it. You want something. So yeah, I got you.
I was
'Cause,
gonna go
again-
the same route. And
Yeah.
that's just because I'm being biased. Because I actually played against that team. I'm looking at the roster and I'm like, holy crap, that's my year. Because I see
Yeah.
Alex Dixon in there. I'm like, this young guys
Yes. Right
that we
after
kind
high
of
school.
looked up to, saying like, oh man, these guys are young and they could be
Sure,
like, we could be like them one day.
Sure.
But yeah, you got Brian Chang. I mean, Will Bruin, who, holy crap, that guy had a cannon.
Yeah.
I would do.
Andre Honold, however you pronounce that guy's name, the redhead guy.
Oh yeah. That's
That guy, dude.
Canadian.
That guy, like, his shots were powerful.
Yeah. Like he's still playing, by the way. He's 37 years old and he's playing in the German. Oh wait, does he? I think he's playing in Germany still, unless he just retired.
He's playing in the second league.
Kaiserslautern. Yeah, second league, second division in Germany.
Kaiser in the German team sounds a little sus.
Right. All right. Well, here's another one then. You guys mentioned Will Bruin. So Brian Ching, Mauro Manotas, Will Bruin. That's the top scorers for the Dynamo, basically.
What you said? Sorry.
Brian Ching, Mauro Manotas, and Will Bruin.
I got it. I can go. I'll cut.
I mean, it's realistically what we did. Here, I'll go. You keep Brian Ching.
So you're keeping Brian Ching? You're starting him, I mean?
Yeah. Starting Brian Ching. You're benching Will Bruin and you're selling.
No.
What?
No. I'm selling.
And I mean,
it
was just based out of the player, not necessarily like who scored the most goals or whatever. I'm just so you can pick whichever one.
I feel like Mauro Manotas has a better ball on his feet control, and he could be more dangerous that way. Will Bruin just seems like this might be offensive.
But he scored a ton of goals. I mean, that dude.
I was kind of like, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking like he's a, what do you call it?
A typical white guy.
Well, no, I was gonna say like tap in merchant.
Yeah, basically. He's like a box nine. Like
I mean, but Rodrigo's thinking of like the Will Bruin at his prime, and I think you're closer to the Will Bruin in Seattle.
I met him later on in life.
And I feel like this guy would just literally, touch the ball, take a shot, and it's a goal. Like it was just sometimes. But I don't know. I feel
he just had power. Manotas it seems like a more complete player.
Yeah, I mean that could be. I think,
but I'm starting Brian Ching either way, so
right.
It don't matter. Yeah,
the flying Hawaiian
play.
Chingon.
Just Chingon. That's funny.
All right.
Just seems like he played with heart more.
All right, let's do one a little bit more current, I guess. Arthur, Coco, Hector Herrera.
Damn, that's good.
Uh-huh.
Arthur, Coco.
That's really good.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Shit. I mean, it
For
seems
the
kind of easy,
age and the quality, I feel like your starter. Well, I guess it depends. Overall career or like now? Because if I'm
No, I
thinking
mean,
now,
just
I know.
yeah. I mean, like I'm
Yeah.
saying, like
Herrera's prime was like, to me, one of the best.
of
Yeah, I
course,
mean,
of
You
course.
know,
that don't
that's
count.
what got him
One of
from
one
obviously
of the best in
Porto to
CONCACAF,
like,
right?
Probably one of the
well,
best
yeah.
Mexicans players, right?
CONCACAF players, I mean.
Yeah, it had to be
That's
Don't want to
maybe.
don't want to say the overall
Eh.
because like over there, Argentinian fans like,
What do you
really?
I don't know. I
What
don't
do
even. I honestly, I don't even think Herrera would break into the Mexico all-time top 10, but he's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like he's up there. Coco,
Well, I
Maybe
mean, at
in
this
I
Europe.
point,
feel
you're
like
just
this year
comparing
has
him to
been
the
his
guys
prime.
Arthur, Coco, and Herrera.
Maybe.
All of them play different positions. We know
Yeah,
this,
that's the thing.
but
Yeah,
so
but I feel like Coco right now, he's entering his prime. Like we saw him a really good year with
Really?
Panama.
he just got an assist, I think,
He's-
earlier today, or
Yeah.
at least if it seemed like an assist.
And
The guy took
then
like 5 touches
Arthur,
before he shot it.
I gotta be honest, I haven't really seen him play as much as the other two, I guess now.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like you start Herrera, you bench Coco, and you sell off. I mean, that's
Okay.
my take.
I'm with
That's
that.
kind of what you're
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, same thing.
All right. We'll keep it current with the Dynamo. Corey Baird, Aliu, Nelson Quinones.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote this before you started mentioning all the alley-oops missing every from 3 feet away.
I mean,
So,
a harder one would have
I think
been Aliu, Sebas, Thor.
Right.
Which one?
That would have been a good one.
That's a little bit harder there, but no,
True.
I think in today's market, in today's world.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Because last year Corey Baird was gonna be cut, like triple cut, like cut.
Yeah. Triple
You know,
cut.
that's just kind of like the system that it was in. You're right.
That's crazy. Isn't it crazy that if your tactic sucks, your players suck?
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But there's still people
Ask
saying
Chelsea
that. Well,
Ask
yeah,
Chelsea
true.
that.
But there's still people out there saying that Ben Olsen sucks. It's like, bro, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah, I
Hey,
think
like
maybe
I understand
they
you don't
seen
like
him
it.
personal stuff and they're taking it out of context.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it. There's some people that don't like that defensive
This
style.
Maybe they know him a little bit too personal and we don't, but
Yeah,
This
true.
guy.
they're
But
taking it literal.
some people don't like. Some people just love that Joga Bonito, and Joga Bonito didn't really win a lot. So sometimes
Yeah, it's all
defensive
it's all
tactics is
about
what.
styles. I
Yeah.
mean, but I think you can be a type of person that doesn't like a style, but still like you can
Well,
still say
a
like
win is a
that.
win. A win is a win because people are always complaining that, oh my God, we didn't win or we
Yeah.
won,
Yeah, just
but
look
we
at
only scored 1 goal.
No, but
Spain's World
you,
Cup.
yeah, you
Spain's
just
World
have to
Cup was
be.
awful.
Yeah.
You just
But
have to recognize,
it's a win.
when someone's good. Like I didn't like the Colombian guy from last year or the
Yeah,
previous
Quintero.
year. Like I didn't like him,
Or
but I could
Quintero.
recognize that whenever he went into the field, he was our best player.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
obvious, it was the truth. But like these people, like they don't know like how to move or put separate the truth from like an opinion. It's like, bro, first of all, your opinion sucks to begin with, and then what are you? Your truth, you're living is. What are you?
All right, well, let's test you then. Let's test you. So you guys already give me that answer. This one's just for Chris. Messi, Maradona, Juan Riquelme. Hit it up, man.
Juan
You have
Roman, por favor.
Juan, and I did write
the one
Juan
he's
Roman.
selling. The one he's selling. Respect him before I sell him.
I start Maradona. I bench Riquelme. And I sell Messi.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna tell him that. If I meet Messi, I'll be like, "Hey, this guy right here next to me."
They're gonna hit you like, "Do you believe?"
It's just I mean, it's different styles. I guess I just like the Riquelme style a lot more.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That
But
that's
all right,
just me
Rodrigo, let's
growing up,
finish
you
up
know?
with you. Similar. Cuauhtémoc Blanco, Jared Borghetti, Chicharito.
Ooh,
That's their. Yeah,
we'll start with
it
them
is what
Blanco
it
all day,
is. I
bro.
think. I think. I
Wait,
think I know
what
the
was it?
answer.
What
It
was
was a
it
little
again,
bit.
sir?
Borghetti,
Blanco,
Ah, Borghetti.
Borghetti,
Nice.
Chicharito.
Borghetti was good.
Ooh.
Borghetti was good. I think that's
Borghetti.
usually that. I like. That's probably the person you're gonna
Mm,
have to cut because I think the other ones are a little bit more transcendent.
Nah, hell no. I'll
But
cut
I would
Chicharito
say
like this.
nah. Mm,
I think
I,
like
honestly, I would say start Blanco,
yeah, you have to. I agree with
bench
that.
Chicharito,
Yeah.
and sell Borghetti. I
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
disagree.
saying. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Chicha at
I
That's
his
disagree.
prime, Chicha at his prime was something else.
yeah.
Cuauhtémoc has what we are missing now, which is that,
Huevos.
huevos. Yeah, honestly, yes. Like, not afraid to say it how it is, and he actually put some passion into it. Plus, he was very technical. His technical ability, his passing ability. I mean, he was something else too. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Chicha had the goal scoring. I mean, he was a goal scoring machine.
Yeah.
Whoever
What
says
about
like, oh, he's a tap in, he's all this, he will score really nice goals too.
Yeah.
But and he was there. I mean, that's the thing. That's what we want about a forward. If we had a Chicharito now, and I don't care if he's
If
a tap
Value
in,
would
nobody
score
would
like
be
him,
exactly. Nobody will be complaining. Oh, that guy's a tap in merchant. Who cares? Oh, that guy only. That's his job.
that's
Shit,
yeah.
how
Seba doesn't do that. Aliu doesn't do that. Why can't we just
even
find a
even
player that
Manotas
does
was
that? I
like
don't
that.
care who it
Manotas
is.
was like a player that he like at least would do all the work and Manotas was just there to tap it in. Like
That's all you need
that's what
sometimes.
we don't have right now for the Dynamo, which is crazy.
I
It's
mean, I feel
pretty
like
crazy.
Lewandowski did that for his whole career.
He did. Yeah.
You never saw him outside of like the 18 take a rocket or try to go around, dribble through players. It was just one of those things that, hey, he's
For
in the
your
box,
area.
header, tap in, whatever works. And he's one
Yeah.
of the best. I mean,
Push it in. Push it in.
I mean, if you would have
Tap it in.
put Hugo Sanchez there, that would have been like, oh shit, like that
Yeah,
guy
but Hugo Sanchez sucked, man. Like he didn't play that
sucked.
much for Mexico. He didn't play that much for Mexico, and this was supposed
He
to be Mexico, not
oh
Mexicans, but like
okay.
with players in Mexico. He didn't
Because
really
they do
play.
play in Real Madrid,
He
like
played,
This
yeah,
is
he
a
played with Real
legend in
Madrid, Atletico
Madrid.
that's
Madrid. He
crazy.
scored a
He's
ton
done
of like
something that nobody
big
will ever
goals.
do,
No,
ever
I
in the
agree,
history
but
of
the names
football.
I took from the national team, like the day, because with the national team, he didn't play that many games, and he gave up on his team in the World Cup, basically. So yeah, we keep Hugo
He
Sanchez. Like
wasn't a leader, but he was talented. He's like a Vela. We're gonna always have a Vela in Mexico,
true,
maybe.
true.
Very
That's crazy.
talented, could be the best, but they just don't give it
Don't
their
try.
all.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree.
But I mean, Hugo Sanchez, just the whole fact that he scored 38 goals,
Yeah,
all first touch.
yeah.
That's
Like,
crazy.
who does that?
One touch.
Like,
Yeah,
and
One
most of
touch.
them, or not most of them, some of them were like bicycle kicks,
yeah. I was
free
gonna say
kicks.
They were
So
like
just
all in
one
the air
touch.
too, right? Or something like
Not
that.
basically.
all of them, not all of
Yeah,
them, but
but
yeah, there
most of
was
them were in the
Still
air, like
crazy
like
though.
acrobatic
like
goals.
That's
headers,
insane.
like it's
Yeah,
just
it's yeah.
I
One
mean,
touch.
it was like the 1940s, but yeah, that's all right.
1940. This guy.
The goalies didn't wear any gloves, but that's all right.
Right. No, I'm kidding, man. But all right, man. It's been great talking tonight. Christian, if you can tell the people, I guess, where they can connect with us and about our sponsor, Banking Ocean.
Yes. Our sponsor for the night and for the previous 5,000 nights has been Senate Avenue Brewing Company. Shout out to Senate Avenue Brewing Company for sponsoring us and, kind of keep us alive here with the website and everything that we do. Also, shout out to Jeff. He's part of the group over there on buyasacoffee.com, I think it is, or buymeacoffee.com. You can help us out over there. But yeah, Senate Avenue, right there off Jersey Village, right there off of 290 and Bell 8. Go give them a try. They have a micro brewing station or whatever they call it. But basically, they make their own beer, right? So if you like beer, if you like good food, if you like good environment, if you like to watch soccer and you like the community, they do all that over there. So go check them out, Senate Avenue Brewing Company. And yeah, you can find us at BayouCitySoccer.net. You can see almost literally every single day there's something going on. There's stuff on our YouTube channel almost daily as well. We have all the press conferences, as many as we can find in the world. We'll put them out there. Obviously, Dash, Dynamo 2, and Houston Dynamo related. We have some exclusive interviews that usually Rudy does by himself with the players in Spanish, English. We're trying to teach him Mandarin so he can go, expand the horizons. But at BayouCitySoccer.com or .net, sorry, and at Bayou City Soccer, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. That's it.
Hey, you mentioned we were about 1 from 300 or something like that?
Yeah,
for the
1
YouTube?
from 300.
Hey, we're 1 for 400 on Instagram. Hit us up, man.
Let's go.
I think Twitter, X, whatever, that one's always been booming because it's easy to get that going there. But help us out, man. Check out our social medias and like, rate, subscribe, do all that mama jumbo. But Rodrigo, man, close it out, dude.
And with that, Houston fans, thank you for listening. And remember to always hold it down and keep it forever orange.